Hi, I'm Nisha DeGaring, host of Good Things Utah, and I've been a longtime supporter of Todd's Belief Cast. I hope you find inspiration in the courageous stories shared by the amazing people Todd features on his show. The guests serve as shoulders for us to stand on, allowing us to see a little further and cultivate belief in oneself. Remember, you have the dignity and power to change. I encourage you to keep striving and believing in yourself. Enjoy today's podcast.
I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the incredible sponsors of the BeliefCast podcast. First, Craig from Craig Swap & Associates. If you need an attorney, he's your guy. Trustworthy, compassionate, always there when you need him most. Next, Wasatch Recovery, the greatest university on the planet, transforming lives one day at a time. Sandy from Minky Couture, the creative genius behind the most comfortable blanket you'll ever wrap yourself in. Comfort like no other. The visionaries behind Thread wallets. These wallets redefine style and functionality. Dave Philippi from Micro Plus, pushing the boundaries of nanotechnology and scientific research to bring us cutting-edge supplements for optimal health. The Ralphs and the Debenhams, creators of Mori Nutrition and Calm. Because if you're struggling with sleep, feeling stressed, or can't focus, Calm is your answer. Special thanks to the award-winning pianist Paul Cardall for his beautiful music that brings inspiration to every episode. And finally, Gab Wireless, letting kids be kids and giving parents the peace of mind they deserve. Right now, Gab is offering $25 off any device to new customers with no contract required. That's $25 off any Gab smartphone or smartwatch. Just go to gab.com/belief. That's where you'll get the best deal. That's Gab, GABB.com/belief. Thank you to all these amazing sponsors for supporting the BeliefCast podcast and empowering us to continue spreading positivity and inspiration to the world. Welcome back, everybody. This is Todd Sylvester with the Todd Inspires BeliefCast. As always, thank you for tuning in and thank you for believing in me. And obviously, you just heard about all these amazing sponsors that I have. Thank you guys for, not only believing in me, but trusting me to support your amazing companies with this amazing podcast. And I take no credit in the sense other than I bring on these amazing people and it just blows my mind the stories that we hear, the inspiration that is felt, the connection we feel, whether it's with a higher power or just with our own selves, that we actually can do hard things and overcome some really difficult challenges. And so thank you guys for tuning in. It means the world to me. And again, just the music that you heard again at the beginning, at the end of this podcast is by my good friend, Paul Cardall. He's an amazing man. So thank you, Paul, for letting us use your award-winning music. So today we have Brock Painter. Brock, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, you guys are going to love Brock. He's an amazing man doing amazing things. I had the privilege and the opportunity and honor to be on your podcast a little while ago. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was.
Right? Yeah, it was really cool. And I got to obviously know you then, but since then I've done a lot of research on you, which has allowed me to hopefully get to know you a lot better and to be able to ask the proper questions for people who are tuning in to get to know you. And so I want to thank you for being here. A little background on Brock. He's a certified professional coach with a bachelor's degree in psychology. He is the founder of Neuromastery, a mind-body performance company, which is really cool. We're going to get to find out more about that. He's done thousands and thousands of hours of coaching and training. He's an avid ultramarathon runner. And I just found out he's doing his first Ironman on Sunday.
Yeah. Not this Sunday, next Sunday.
Oh, next Sunday. But either way, say again, it's a 2.4 mile swim.
112-mile bike and then a marathon at the end.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. And you just finished, you did a 100-miler just a little while ago, correct?
Last October.
Was that what it was?
October 27th, yep.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how you do that. I'm sure you're going to do great, but what a challenge that is, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're married. You look so young, man, which is definitely a compliment, but married, have a son. How old is your son?
He's a year old.
He's a year old. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Isn't that the best, right?
Oh, yeah. He's starting to get fun crawling around and everything.
That is the best. Well, you're doing a lot of great things. You're building a community, which we're going to talk about that as well. But why don't we just start with where did you grow up and a little bit about your childhood?
Yeah, so I grew up in Riverton, Utah, just there by Riverbend Golf Course.
Oh, yeah.
And so I have 4 older brothers. I'm the youngest of 5. And so obviously grew up with a lot of roughhousing, a lot of extreme sports and fun that side. I played lots of sports. I tried basically every sport you could think of at one point in time, from football to lacrosse to tennis to,
Yeah.
all of them.
Right.
The only one my mom wouldn't let me play was hockey. She said I would lose my teeth.
Wow. Yeah, that's a possibility, I guess.
But yeah, the favorite sport was definitely football. I did that all the way from 8 years old up until my junior year of high school.
Okay.
And that's my love, and I was obsessive about that. And then from there, served a 2-year mission in Saltillo, Mexico. Came home, went to Utah State, got my degree there, and then been building Neuromastery for the last 2 years.
So let's go back. Did you not play your senior year?
No.
How come?
So part of the reason I didn't play was because when I was 14, I got 4 concussions in the span of a month.
Oh, man.
And my mom told me that if I got another one, then she wasn't going to let me play anymore. So me being the smart kid that I was, said, well, then I'm not going to tell you. And so I played football for the next 5 years, and obviously received a lot of concussions, because once you get one, it's a lot easier to get another, and they can roll. And so my junior year, I started to have a lot of health issues, from bloody noses to passing out to different migraines and things like that. And, it got added up to the point where I was like, okay, I need to tell my mom. So I told her. We went to the doctor, got an MRI. They could see calcium deposits and things like that growing on the brain. So they were like, okay, you can't play anymore.
Wow.
And so from one day to the next, this sport that I loved and that I was really a part of my identity was now gone.
How did you handle that? Like, that had to have been really difficult.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can still pinpoint the experience where a lot changed for me. So the first little bit, I just had that self-pity, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who I am. I don't know what to do anymore, because I had an obsessive personality. Like, I was up every day catching 100 passes, football, then I would go work out, go to school, come home, work out again, and then I was going to bed doing it again. So that's where my friends were. That's where all my time went. I really didn't know any different.
Yeah.
And so from one day to the next, that was gone now, and I had to figure out who I was. And so there was one night in particular where I was laying on the floor, and I was just feeling bad for myself. I had a sad song playing and everything, didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And, I realized that I had to figure out who I was.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I had to pick myself up, and I was going to figure this out, because in this moment I felt fragile.
Sure.
I didn't know what to do. I felt weak, and I didn't like that feeling. I said, I want to feel strong.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I went and I wrote down a list of 300 things that I liked about the world. And I was like, okay, these are all the things that I do like, whether it be apples or, these type of people, anything. And I said, I'm going to spend 80% of my time here, because I know these are places where I feel like I belong, because I felt like I didn't belong anywhere.
Yeah.
And so I said, this is where I know I'll like. But then I also made another list of 300 things that I disliked. And I said, because I feel fragile, I want to become strong. And this is the best source. Like, if I can become okay in these situations, then I will become strong. And I started to pick 2 of those a week to fill the other 20% of the time, where I was going to expose myself to those things until I felt like I could handle them. And that helped me kind of get to know myself better than I ever did. And that also helped me understand how to regrow my mind and body, because my brain I still had all those issues.
Yeah, right.
And so during that time, I was also figuring out how to regrow it, because I went to the doctors. They gave me medications, and they said, hey, it's going to solve everything.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
But it didn't last. And so from there, I was figuring all these little pieces out that were helping me gain this mind and body connection that then grew into a lot more.
So did someone show you how to do that, or did you come up with that on your own? Like, I'm going to do this, or did someone say, hey, this is something you could do, or how did you figure that out?
Honestly, it was just a burst of inspiration while I was laying there on the floor.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better. I just knew what I felt. And
is this your senior year we're talking about right now?
This is my junior year it was right before my senior year.
Okay.
So.
Wow. What a great exercise for anyone listening to this. That would be amazing. So you had a list of all these things that you thought you didn't like or were weak in, and then you'd pick 2 of those to really work on. What was one of those that stood out the most in that list, if you can remember? Like, what was the one that this is what I struggle with the most? Can you remember?
Yeah. Well, I had this belief system that I didn't belong. Like I said, I didn't really feel like I fit in anywhere. I had friends, I had people, but a lot of us know the experience where you can feel lonely in a crowded room.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was me. And so one of those was trying to feel included in rooms. And I wasn't expecting other people to do it for me. I knew it was a personal problem.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a them problem.
Yeah.
It was a me problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so another one of those was sarcasm. That really stuck out. I hated sarcasm because I felt like it was just an excuse for people to be rude. And I felt like I got a lot of it.
Okay.
Like I was that kid that everybody was like, we can tease you because you can take it. Right? I would get that all the time.
Really?
And I hated it.
Okay.
And so I was like, I don't know why this affects me so heavily, so I'm going to try to become strong in it to where it doesn't affect me so much.
Gotcha.
Those were two of the bigger ones.
That's pretty amazing. So you mentioned you served a mission for your church that you're a member of. Did your faith play a part in that transition as well? Did you lean on God, if you will, at that time? Or were you young enough to where you maybe weren't seeing it that way? I don't know. What was going on with your faith?
Yeah, I had a lot of experiences with God during that entire time. He's been the main thing for everything that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember when I really gained a testimony of Jesus Christ, I was out at EFY, and I remember they taught us about a specific prayer. They said if you ask for specific things, you get specific answers. So I said a very specific prayer, and I said, why are people so mean? And I said, why is that a part of my journey? And all of a sudden I closed my eyes and I opened the scriptures, and it went to the verse in Matthew where Jesus is in front of the people and they're yelling at him, crucify him, crucify him, crucify him. And I thought to myself, well, if he had to go through this, then why wouldn't I, even in a small sense? And then immediately the wind blew and went to Joseph Smith in Carthage jail. And he was asking, Lord, why me?
Yeah.
And the Lord said, this is the part where you grow, and talks to him. And for me, that's where I knew this is the part where I grow.
Yeah.
And so that was something that carried with me all the way through my whole journey.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that when you said, if you ask for specific things, you get specific answers. I like that because I think sometimes, and I'm just talking in general for any religion, that we're maybe really vague, and when we're praying, and it's just, and then maybe the answers are vague. I don't know, right? And so I love that. I think being really, mindful and really deliberate of, this is what I'm asking because I need help. I need to know. And you got a specific answer there. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you get back from your mission, right? You're not playing football anymore. You've worked on some of these things that you were weak in. How did that span of your mission, how did you, obviously you grow spiritually there, we know that, but what other things did you gain from that experience that helps you to this day even? Yeah,
there was a lot with those experiences. And I always thought this once I came home from my mission was, when you're going out, you think, I'm sent here for the people of Saltillo, Mexico, or wherever you're called to serve, right?
Yeah.
But in my head, by the end of my mission, I said, I wasn't called here for the people of Mexico. I was called here for my companions. I was called there for the missionaries. And it felt like that was what I was supposed to do. And, I had some really hard companions, and I had some really difficult conversations. And I also had some times where I was a leader and I could really help and give to people. And those were moments where I was able to serve the people who couldn't give to themselves and be served by when I couldn't give to myself. And I think that was one of the biggest things that I took away from my mission, is that really it's not about me. And I can't marry myself too much to a certain path of how things are going to look.
Yeah.
God has so much more in store. And the thing is his mission is not always your mission, but the mission never ends. The goal always remains the same, and all children are his children, whether they be the missionaries or the people you're teaching.
Wow.
And another lesson I learned out there was that I'm not the teacher. I just get the opportunity to serve and grow. And through that service is where I grow more than any other time in my whole life.
Yeah. I love that, and the growth in helping other people. I share this a lot, so my listeners will probably laugh a little bit, but I had a client once here that I was working with, and we were doing a group therapy session. There's like 16 of us in a room, and I asked the group, each person, just stand up and share something that's on your heart today, just random, like whatever you're thinking. This guy gets up and shares this, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. He said, I tried to find myself I could not see. I tried to find my God eluded me. I tried to find my brother, I found all three. And I was like, dude. And I told him, I'm gonna take that from you if that's okay. I'm gonna memorize it, because I thought how profound that is. What are your thoughts on that?
100%. I mean, when you're able to live in God's love, you see his reflection in everybody around you.
Mm-hmm.
The more you connect to his love, the more you see him in everybody. And I think as you know, there's a quote by Mike Tyson that I love that he always talks about, where he says, whenever I think I'm important, I get frustrated and angry. But whenever I know I'm nothing, I know it all of a sudden goes away.
Wow.
But it's because when you understand that it's about the people around you, and you're not necessarily the important one of the equation, you just get the opportunity to experience everybody around you.
Yeah.
And when you get that opportunity to serve and to experience and to see God's love in them, life becomes so much easier, because, I'm a big fan of behavioral neuroscience, okay?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things with behavioral neuroscience is oxytocin. It's one of the main neurochemicals in the brain that comes with connection to another person.
Yeah.
Okay? So a lot of times it's pro-social behavior, so it's going to help you trust people. It's going to help you want to interact and things like that. But what often gets overlooked with oxytocin is it also increases your pain tolerance. So the more you connect with the people around you, the better you're going to be able to handle the stress and difficulties of life.
I love that. That's powerful. That is so I want to share. Can I share a personal experience? I mean,
I would love it.
Because I got to tell you this, because you'll appreciate this, and I'm tearing up because what you just said there is so true. So I told you I ran a marathon, St. George Marathon, my first marathon ever, a couple weeks ago. And I had run 17 miles in training, and I would hit a wall at 16, and I would be in so much pain. I'll be honest with you, I was scared. Like when I'm at that starting line in St. George going, am I going to be able to freaking do this? And I had this thought about love. This is going to sound kind of silly to maybe some people. So I thought, okay, love is one of the highest frequencies out there, right? We know that, right? Love is powerful. So I thought to myself, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give away love the entire race. So this might sound silly, but like I'm running next to someone, and I would look at him, and I would really look at him, and I would go, in my mind, I would go, I love you. I don't know you, but I love you. Someone would pass me, I'd go, I love you. I would pass someone, I would say, I love you. I did that the entire race, and I got to be honest, I did not hit a wall. The last 3 miles, I sprinted to the finish line. Didn't hit a wall. And I give credit to that power frequency. Oxytocin was being released every time I would give away love. And it hit me when you said that. I was able to handle the stress and the pain. It wasn't even painful.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
What's the scripture? Perfect love casteth out all fear.
Dude, it was unreal. And I tear up even to this day. And I think I know you appreciate that, and I hope my listeners are too, but I couldn't agree more that when we are giving away love and we feel God's love, we see it. We see people differently. We see it everywhere in such a level. And it sounds almost like, really? Is that all you do? And it really is. Anyway, I hope that was okay to share.
No, I love that so
This is
much.
your story, but it hit me when you said that.
No, it's so true. I've tested it multiple times. Because a lot of times when you're going on a marathon, right, a lot of people are focused on the distance.
Right.
I need to make it 26.2 miles in this speed. And there's a problem with that. Because if you're so focused on the distance, that's all you're going to get. Hard is just hard unless a lesson is learned.
Ooh, I like that.
And learning is best intention. And so when there's a little bit of tension, but you understand why you're there, your body is so much more capable than you could ever imagine. I took my guys up. I was like, I need to build some confidence in these guys.
Yeah.
So I have my community. I took them up to my cabin, and I put a 75-pound rucksack on their backs, and I put them in teams of 2. And I said, we're just going to walk up this hill. And I didn't tell them how far we were going to go, and I didn't tell them what it was going to consist of. I just said it's going to be hard.
Yeah, right.
These guys walked 10 miles with a 75-pound rucksack on their back, doing hard workouts every 45 minutes that I was timing. Had I told them before, I promise you none of them would have showed up.
Yeah, they're like, we're doing that? Are you crazy?
But because they had somebody cheering them on, they were able to connect with the greater whole. All of a sudden, their body just forgot about getting to the destination, and it just embraced the journey, which is the love, which is the connection, which is the people around you.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. Have you ever seen The Selection?
Mm-mm.
It's where they take average everyday citizens and they go and do Navy SEAL training and to see if they can make it, and they can quit at any time. Well, there's one episode where this Navy SEAL is leading them through to sit-ups, regular sit-ups. He doesn't tell them how many they're going to do. So you're watching this on TV, you're thinking, okay, maybe they're going to do 100, maybe 200, 300. They end up doing 1,000 sit-ups. And these average everyday people, they do it. And I think it's the same concept. They didn't know what the number was going to be. Maybe the Navy SEAL did, but he didn't share it with them. He's like, okay, we're just going to go.
Yeah.
They did 1,000.
That's
so
amazing.
I think it proves your point is, when you're just doing this as a team and we're going to just do whatever comes our way, we can do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is. It's powerful.
That's so cool. Well, let's talk about your amazing company. You're the founder of Neuromastery, a mind and body performance company.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. I'm all about the power of our minds. It's amazing to me. I really believe when I'm working with my clients, they don't have a drug problem or an alcohol problem. They have a thinking problem.
Yeah.
So talk about what is Neuromastery. So people who are listening, what is this all about? How did you come about this? And what do you do?
Yeah. So Neuromastery, it's a mind and body performance company, like you said. And what I do is I work through the 4 pillars of a healthy person: physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental. So in a practical sense, I build workout programs, nutrition plans. Got to have a body that's optimized to work for you.
Yeah.
And then I work with the emotions on belief systems and identities. I take a little bit of an unorthodox approach when it comes to emotions.
Yeah.
And then we have the spiritual and the mental pillar, where we have a community of people. We get together. We learn how to get our energy to work for us rather than against us, to connect to a higher power, and then also take on challenges. At the Utah Valley Marathon, we had 7 guys run it, and then we have 5 going to run 100K here in April. And, it's pushing yourself and really understanding just how far you can go. And, we're not just an exercise company, but it's a great way to really stack evidence and become undeniable that you are who you say you are.
Yeah.
And so that's what the company is in short.
Yeah. What does Alex Hormozi say? Confidence without evidence is delusion.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're building up the evidence. Like, look, you got the evidence that you really are powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why exercise is so important, I think.
Oh yeah. And it's a great way to showcase that. But along with that, it also is helping them in their personal life, because where I start is with the emotions. If you don't understand your emotions, you don't understand how they're working with you. Like my story. So, when I was young, I had 4 older brothers. And so being the youngest of 4, like my goal in life was to be able to keep up, to be able to do what they did. Like in football, if they hit hard, I was going to hit hard. Yeah. Even if I hit with bad form and gave myself concussions, I was going to hit with hard, right?
You're like, I'm doing this.
I'm doing this. There was one story, like my brother started in football, so I was going to start in football.
Yeah.
And, even to the point to where my coach had this saying he would always say is like, starters will put themselves in the game. So I wasn't very good at football. I worked really hard, but I wouldn't slow down and be embarrassed enough, because they were all good at football. So I was going to be good at football, even if I wasn't good at football. I just did the wrong thing really fast. But even to the point, I put myself in the game.
Yeah.
And he's like, why the freak is Brock out there? Get him out, right?
Yeah.
Gets in my face and tells me, do I ever want to start? Am I ever going to be good enough? And to me, that built this belief system in myself, like Why can't I ever be enough? Why can't I be the starter? Why can't I be the one who gets picked for once? Why can't I be the one seen and recognized?
Yeah.
Why am I not enough? And that carried with me throughout my whole journey, right? Even until I started Neuromastery. And when I started it, it still was that way, but I had to do a lot of it alone, and that was hard because I branched off from my brothers and the people I was trying to keep up with into something that I had to do by myself. And that was really tough because there was a part that needed healing.
Yeah.
And I focused so much on the self-improvement. So you have self-improvement and you have self-healing. Self-improvement, now this is your goals. This is the things that you say, okay, this is where I am. This is what I need to fix.
Yeah.
But then there's self-healing. Now, this is your emotions. This is your shadow work. This is understanding the parts of you that are unorganized, that are dark and scary. And there was a moment where I had to face this. I was actually starting Neuromastery, and same habit, right? I wanted to reach out to coaches. I was calling everybody that I could to tell me that one thing that was going to make the difference, to give me that one thing that was going to change my business. And, I reached out to one coach in particular, and on that phone call, he basically told me I should quit. And he said, come back when you can actually do this thing. And he said, you can't. And so that was really hard for me to stomach.
Yeah, right.
Like and then not only that, I was like, okay, that's fine. I called him. I asked for his advice. I got his advice.
Yeah.
I
asked for it.
I asked for it. But then a week later, he wrote an entire blog about me, basically saying, fake A gurus that can't get results, that have wives talking to their husbands as to why they haven't improved. And that one hit. And I knew immediately that there was a part of me that I needed to face, because all those insecurities came up again. Why am I not enough? Why can't I just be good at this? I put my whole life into this, right? So the next day I go get on a bike and do what I do best, and it's just a stationary bike. Yeah. I turn on these shaman drums because I'm getting meditative. You hear the dum, dum.
Yeah.
And first thing I did is I get on the bike, and it was all blame. It was, well, he doesn't know what he's doing either. His program's not even that great. He's bigger himself. And all of it was just blame on him. And then I was like, no, that can't be the answer. I'm still anxious, and that doesn't help me at all. It's not working. Stay on the bike. I'm in there about an hour now, and I go deeper. And all of a sudden, it comes to this point where I'm like, oh, okay, well, why am I not enough? And I start to go to my insecurities, and why can't I figure this out? If I can just get here, right? And I was like, that's not working out. I can't figure this out. Stay on the bike. Shaman drums. Now I'm in 2 hours, right? And all of a sudden, my body relaxes, and it says, what am I not unwilling to learn? And I was unwilling to love the parts of me that created the anxiety. I was unwilling to love the parts of me that were causing me to act in unhealthy ways, that would put myself out there, that was unwilling to be embarrassed, that was unwilling to slow down enough, to look bad, to actually learn. And once I realized that, my body healed. And once I did the self-healing, the self-improvement became darn near inevitable. Yeah. Because I was whole. I didn't need these external things to fill this insecurity in me. And once I had that, once I had those emotions that were aligned, and I knew who I was, and I knew where I was going and what I wanted, and I could align myself there to where what I thought, what I said, and what I did were the same, self-improvement became inevitable.
Yeah. I love that. That's a great story. So I would imagine you believe life happens for you.
I believe life happens because of me.
What do you mean?
So a lot of people, like when life happens for you, there's cause and effect, right? I believe I'm causing the effect. I can create whatever I want to in this world, and I can become whoever I want to. And I can do that through just understanding the principles of creating that. Like if I want to run a 100-mile race, I believe anybody can. It's just you have to ask yourself, am I willing to pay the price of gaining that outcome, or whether that be neuromastery or even personality traits? Like if I want to learn patience, am I willing to pay the price of learning patience?
Yeah. It's a good question, huh? Right. Are you willing to pay the price? Yeah, I ask that to my clients all the time who want to get clean and sober. Great. You can definitely do it, but do you want to pay the price to get there? Because there's a price for everything, right?
Exactly.
No, I love that. That's a great insight on that. So I appreciate you sharing that. So what's your typical client? What do they look like, and who comes to you for help?
So right now we have a wide variety, mostly 25 to 35-year-olds, but I also work with some older guys that are wanting to lose weight and things like that. And then typically they come for the physical, but they leave for the emotional. Like they stay because that's where they're really making the gains. Because the physical, you really don't have a physical problem. You have a personal problem.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to...
Right.
And so if I just come here and I give you the workout program, you can find my workout programs online.
Right.
Like you could go on Google and get a perfect workout program that will get you jacked and fit. That will do your food. It will do everything. The problem is not the knowledge. The problem is the implementation. And it's because you have patterns and habits that are not working for you.
Yeah. That's why I think community, having a group like, the community you're trying to build is so powerful because, okay, the community's doing this. I want to be a part of this, kind of energy, breeds more energy, that kind of thing. And so do you notice that with having more of a group doing this together that, hey, we're pulling someone along who may be struggling but it helps them get there?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, all ships rise with the tide.
Yeah.
And the thing is everybody likes to live in what's normal, right? But your normal is the people you're surrounding yourself with, which is what is where you are now.
Yeah.
And obviously you're not aligned with that because otherwise you wouldn't be looking for support.
Yeah.
And so, changing that is what makes all the difference because you're around people who are a little bit further along the path than you that have experienced certain things and can help and set the standard. But then there's guys that are right there with you where iron sharpens iron and you're improving together.
Yeah.
And then you have people behind that you can help. I wrestled when I was at Utah State. I just tried out for the team, and that was one of the biggest lessons I learned from that experience was, when I was on that team, I got wrecked basically for the semester because I didn't wrestle in high school. I just wanted to try out. I made the team and wrestled.
That's impressive.
And when I was there wrestling, I just got destroyed. And the coach at the end of the season said, "Brock, do you want to know why you struggled?" He goes, "To really create a good wrestler, you need people that you need people that are better than you that can beat you. You need people that are the same as you that you fight with, and then you need people that you can teach." And he said, and that's where learning gets optimized.
Okay.
And, in the program, and when you see the community, all of those are present.
Yeah. Wow. Wrestling's no joke, right?
No, it is tough.
I played basketball, and I remember we would have a really hard practice after school, and it was hard. And the wrestlers started right when we did. We'd go shower, mess around. An hour later, we're leaving. They're still practicing. Matter of fact, they've got someone on their back, and they're running up and down stairs. We're going, oh, these guys are crazy. It's impressive what those guys can do and how hard they work, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
It's a rough sport for sure.
Well, so, and obviously you're really into training, and you like challenging yourself. And why is that so important to you? Why do you push yourself so much?
Part of it because it helps me feel capable. It helps me have something that I can be confident in, that I know 1 + 1 always equals 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like I look at a training program, and the way that I design it is, if I follow this every single day, it would be unreasonable for me to not get to the goal. And it doesn't matter how big it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes in life it can be scary trying to do that in a similar sense. And so I do like the physical because it helps me stack that evidence and confidence. Yeah. Another reason is like I want to practice what I preach in Neuromastery. I want to live every single principle.
Yeah.
And be the example, because I am not Neuromastery. Like Neuromastery is a program, and it is something that you can follow.
Yeah.
I am like the number one ambassador of it is how I would view myself.
Sure,
and so I'm practicing what I preach in the training, in the pursuit, and as I do these bigger challenges.
Yeah. I love that. Practice what you preach. I had my mentor years ago, still my mentor to this day. So when I got clean and sober for the first time in my life, this mentor, which you know my story, took me under his wing. And he says, "What do you want to do now in your life?" I'm like, "Man, I want to help people. I want to be a speaker. I want to coach. I want all this stuff," right? And he's like, "Hey, that sounds wonderful." And he goes, "You know what'll be the hardest thing for you to do?" And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Practice what you preach." Mm-hmm. And when he said that, I understood it logically. I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I get it," And then I found myself, I'd go and speak to a group, right? And I would leave going, I just told them to do all these things that I'm not even doing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's right. This is hard. So I really dedicated my life to say, if I'm going to have you do something, I better make sure that I'm doing it too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I love that you said that. And I think if we can just have that mentality, like, okay, if I'm going to tell someone to do something, I'm going to make sure I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you do that. I think that gives you credibility. It makes you authentic. You know, people will listen to you because, oh, well, look what Brock's done. He's not just saying this. He actually lives it, right?
Well, I think about that with a kid, you know, being a new father.
Yeah.
Kids don't listen to what you say. They listen to what you do.
Mm-hmm.
If you can be the example, it will speak much louder than anything you could ever tell. Like, I'll be in a session with a client and I could sit there and tell them the perfect advice and they will not hear it.
Yeah.
But when they see me out there every single day practicing what I preach, they notice.
Yeah.
And that then tells them just how capable they are too.
Yeah.
It speaks much louder.
I love that. Let's talk a little bit about the community you're building. It's Conquer, right? Is it called Conquer?
So it's called Connect and Conquer.
Say it one more time.
Connect and Conquer.
Connect and Conquer. Yeah. So talk about that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty fun because what it does is our whole goal is we want to help people experience those 4 pillars of a healthy person and have those experiences, because when you can experience it and not just hear about it, it makes so much of a difference. And like I said, when you understand that you have a secure base, a place that is consistent, a place where you can feel like you can let your guard down and just talk, especially as a man. Mm-hmm. Because us men, we got to be a hero at work. Then we go home to our family and we typically have to be the hero there as well, because we got to show up for our family and give them energy. Can't bring our problems home. Yeah. So where do we go? Yeah. Right? Good point, yeah. And so for men, it gives them that space with a bunch of strangers where there's no emotional attachment and you can just talk and experience and have a time to let your guard down and not have to be that hero for a minute.
Yeah, right.
And that makes a massive difference. And we also do them for women. Like we did a festival. They're different each time, but this festival that we did was a full day event. And in the morning we did a service activity where we put together 35,000 meals for the hungry. So there's typically something service oriented. Okay. Then what we did is we moved into a workout, and it was pretty intense. You had guys yelling and it was tough. Yeah. Then after, we had a sauna and ice bath where you could go and relax and kind of have your Zen space. Yeah. And then after that, we had speakers. And we had, I'm skipping one. We did breath work in between. Oh, okay. And I don't know if you've ever done holotropic breath work, but this was one of the coolest experiences. Right at the peak of it started to rain. Oh, really? And we're all outside, and it was just like this euphoric experience. Right. And then after we had speakers and we had people teaching and learning and growing. Because here's one thing that I believe very firmly. Knowledge isn't the problem. Have you ever heard of Occam's razor model? Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the simplest answer is usually the right one. Yep. And that's the idea is we know what to do. Why can't we do it? What's the gap? And the gap typically is who we surround ourselves with and the standards that we set and the values we live by. Nice. If we can go to there and, even if we're going down your story, all the way down to beliefs that this will work. Yeah. Because belief comes before the ability. Right. But we focus so much on the ability that we get upset when we can't create the outcome. But the belief has to come first that it'll work, because that's where the lesson gets learned. Yeah. And then, so if you have the belief, if you go to an event and you have the belief that it could help you, all of a sudden transformations take place and you gain the ability and you can have that experience. So we do speak and we do teach, but most people know those things. Right. It's pretty simple stuff when you really get down to what creates a healthy person. For sure. Exercise. Eat food as close to the natural source as possible, right? Surround yourself with good people. Don't say mean things. Don't
sleep.
Sleep
get your
good.
Sleep, man.
It's simple.
Simple stuff.
But the thing is when you can actually live it, it's like, oh, that's what they're talking about. Yeah. And so we hope to give those experiences in those events where people can have that knowledge and then have an experience to then, what I call it is my cookie jar. You can pull from it when things get hard and say, hey, I know this works.
I love that. I don't know. Have you read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle?
No, I haven't.
He says, if you understand something intellectually and it stays there, you've never fully experienced it. So like you said, you can have the knowledge and all that stuff, but until you get out there and apply and do and be, then you go, oh, now I get what Brock's talking about. Oh, I get what he means by this now. Oh, yeah, it is simple, but man, this is powerful.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You probably love seeing that connection when they're like, oh my gosh, this is really making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I was out at Chad Hymas's ranch. You know Chad?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
I've had him on my podcast.
Okay.
Yeah,
really
he's a
good
dude.
guy. Yeah.
He's a good
Great
dude.
speaker.
Yeah.
So
he's great.
He has these Texans, right? Just these brutes. And he brings in that Mike Allen to come in and do breath work for him. Okay. And so these guys never experienced it. Like in Utah, It's pretty common to have experienced breath work. Texas, outside of Utah, not really. There's a bubble here for it. I mean, it exists, but small.
But small, yeah.
So these guys are like, I don't know. They finish the breath work. And this guy, he looks, he goes, I never experienced anything like this. I'm not very spiritual. He goes, but I think I'm a believer.
That's awesome.
and he had tears in his eye because you could see the transformation. And it's just a matter of being willing to give it a go because there's this moment. So you have stimulus and response. And in the middle, there's a choice.
Yeah. Viktor Frankl.
Exactly.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, you're doing good stuff. How often do you guys meet as a group? Is it weekly? Is it daily? Is it monthly?
Yeah. So right now it's monthly.
Okay.
But that's going to change here soon. We're doing more events and things like that. We've actually recently been fueled by Mountain Ops. So we're with Trevor Farnes.
And, love Trevor and love the Farnes family. They're amazing.
Yeah. So we're going to start blowing this up a whole lot more, which will be really fun. And
that's cool.
We'll have giveaways there and some fun things coming to be involved because, the supplements is your nutrition. So bring it in.
I love it. I want to share a couple things with you and get your thoughts on. Okay?
Would love it.
I want to share this quote with you and you tell me what you think. I think I already know what you think, but love to hear your insight. This is from the Bhagavad Gita. For the one who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for the one who has failed to do so, the mind will be his greatest enemy. Wow, right? What do you think of that? What comes to mind when I share that with you?
What comes to mind is how to conquer the mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of people think conquering the mind is having this extremely positive mindset and always thinking, I need to push through this and white knuckle it.
Yeah.
Where I become a little bit unorthodox in conquering the mind is you can't be afraid of the pain.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be afraid of the anxiety. You can't try to run away from it. They're not bad things.
Yeah.
The anxiety in me, the part of me that wanted to show up and keep up with my brothers is the very thing that helped me run a 100-mile race.
Right. Yeah.
And it's what pushed me through, and it's what helped give me the energy to do that. It was only when I rejected it that it became self-destructive. When I became aligned with it, I could use it to work for me rather than against me. And where the mind gets conquered, it's not this tug-of-war fight. It's a surrender. It's dropping the rope and saying, hey, I'm not going to fight you anymore.
Yeah. I love that.
This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So that's what came to my mind.
Conquer the mind. Thank you. That's very good insight. Now I've got another one. This is a banger. This is by James Allen. When one has reached the lowest point of sorrow, when weak and exhausted and overcome with a sense of powerlessness, he cries to God for help, and there comes no answering comfort and no succor. Then, discovering the painfulness of sorrow and the insufficiency of prayer alone, he is ready to enter the path of self-renunciation, ready to purify his heart, ready to practice self-control, ready to become a spiritual athlete, and to develop that divine and invincible strength which is born of self-mastery.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question just to go with it.
Yeah,
when you
please.
think of a blessing, what comes to mind? Like the first thing, what's the blessing?
Something that I asked for and I received that helped improve me, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, or physically.
Yeah. I have a little bit of a different take because that's everyone's first response. I want the house. I want the good thing. I want the person to come give me what I want.
Yeah.
But one thing that I've learned through all my hours of training, and this was one in particular that I've learned because I've had to put in 300 hours for this Ironman. So I've spent a lot of time.
Yeah.
The blessing is not the finish line. Like it's saying there, the blessing is the work.
Yeah. For sure.
The blessing is the journey, the hardship.
Yeah.
Because that's where growth happens. That's where for every ounce of pain I feel today is an ounce of strength I'll have tomorrow. For everything that I get to experience through this is everything that I will be able to take with me. And so we always think that the blessing is some out there that's going to be a result that we get, but that's very short-lived. Like, how often do we get the result and they're like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, what's coming
Can
next?
I get this?
I need the next thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just short-term rewards. But if you can really learn to just understand that the blessing is the hardness, the hardships that come, then all of a sudden it doesn't become so painful.
Yeah, I love that. Very well said. Okay, one more.
Okay.
One more. Oh, thanks for doing this because I love your mind. Read that out loud and then tell me what you think of it.
The most delightful surprise in life is to suddenly recognize there's nothing wrong with you. That was the experience that I had on that bike.
Yep.
I'm whole as I am.
Wow. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, I love your insight, Brock. I love how you live your life. You're a powerhouse. You really are. And not just because you can do physical things, but it's just the energy and the frequency and the spirit you bring into a room. I felt that when I was on your podcast, and, I walked out there going, man, I just feel good, just because of the aura and the energy you bring and the love you have for people. It's pretty amazing.
Appreciate that.
Hope
I
you
could
know
say
that.
the same about you.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to connect with him more.
No, I appreciate that. If there's someone listening to you right now, Brock, who's in a dark place, they're struggling, they're tuning in because they're at rock bottom, what would you tell that one person right now listening to you?
If you feel like you're all alone, like there's nothing you can do about it, and that everything is against you and no one understands, those are the 3 biggest lies your brain can tell you. If you want to help a hurt dog, put him in a healthy pack. Go find your pack. If the people you're currently around are not helping support you, grow you, or be there for you, go find the people that can. I promise you, they're out there. And they can help you understand yourself deeper than you ever thought was possible.
Wow. If you want to heal a hurt dog, is how you said it, put him in a healthy pack. I've never heard that before. That's powerful. Dang, I love that. Great advice, man. If people want to reach out to you, Brock, and they want to know more about your program and your community and your business, and they want to just maybe ask you a question, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, Instagram is a great way. So Brock Painter Official or Neuromastery, just shoot me a DM, and I'm happy to chat. If this brought up any questions for you guys, I'm happy to chat and show you some resources, show you some opportunities, and even have you come to some of our events.
Yeah.
Like if you feel like you are hurt right now and there's nothing you can do about it, come to one of our events.
Yeah.
Reach out to me. If you don't have any money, I'll get you there for free. Come. We just want to be there to support you.
Wow. Awesome. Well, I'll put all your links in the show notes. It'll be easy for them to get them from the show notes, and they can reach out to you. Before we wrap it up, I got something for you, and it's from one of our sponsors. It's going to be a little loud here. But it's the most comfortable blanket on the planet. Minky Couture is one of my sponsors, and they have been so kind to give me some blankets to give away to my guests who are on the show. So this is my gift to you.
That's so nice of you. Thank you so much.
And you can just go home and hand that off to your wife.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
She can have that.
It's going to her. But
if you're lucky, you might be able to use it a few times. But anyway, thanks to Minky Couture and for their belief in me and for supporting this cause. But yeah, it's my gift to you. It's the least I could do for you today. I know you're a busy person and got a lot going on, and obviously you got training for this Ironman, which is crazy, but good crazy. But thank you for your time and for all the good you bring into this world. We need more Brocks in our lives.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you too, Todd.
Thank you, man. Well, there you go, folks. I told you today was going to be another great guest, another great story, another amazing information. I feel uplifted, and I know you have, that you've tuned in. If you have a loved one who's struggling, a son or a daughter, a spouse or a friend, send them a link to this episode, and it will break the ice, and then follow back up with them and just say, hey, what did you think of that? What did you think of Brock and his message? I promise you it will stir a conversation, and it'll give you a position to maybe help this person, and maybe you can even direct them towards Brock. And we hope that we can send more to Brock just because of all the good he's doing. So love you guys. Again, thanks to my sponsors, and I love you more than you can even imagine. Thank you for believing in me, and till next time. Okay, thanks, Brock.
We'll see you guys.